Hey guys, it's 8:29 a.m. on the 30th of May 2022, and as you can see, I am still in my bedroom sitting on my bed. So divine timing has been basically the theme of my videos for the last number of days, probably because the universe is now making it so apparent in such obvious ways. I'm guessing so that it finally sinks in, yeah? Because as I've said, time has fucked with me for as long as I can remember. And that's in the sense of there are days, like say the last couple of days, my weekend just feels like it flew by in a blur and just running on overdrive, so to speak. Come to think of it, I think now is like the first time I haven't felt like real intense tension within me. So that's a plus. So, as I said this morning, I had finished my intro and I was keeping an eye on the GPS because I had to be on the other side of the city for my work meeting by 9:30. Now, I was completely ready, packed, and literally had my takeaway coffee cup in front of me, about to put, like the sugar and the coffee in to leave. A minute later, 2 minutes later, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, tell you what. I'd probably be sitting in traffic more than anything. But while I was in the process of taking the cup down to make the coffee, an email came through from my boss. Now, as I said yesterday, yesterday I worked all the way through them to get up to date. There wasn't anything I knew that was super pressing that if I hadn't gotten up to date by yesterday, it was, a problem. Wait, I think you know what I'm trying to say. It's work. I probably should have already been up to date, but it's fine. Anyway, the email comes through and it's like, morning, Liv. Just to confirm, we're meeting next Monday on the 6th of June, not today. And I was like, wow, that is perfect timing. And I literally took a photo of my bag ready to go out the door. Well, I needed to zip it up, but it was packed, and my coffee cup, and I'm like honestly 2 minutes later I wouldn't have seen this email until I got there, and then it would have had to turn around and come all the way back. So very, very happy. It does appear, because I did obviously check my calendar, so when they do those invite things that you have to RSVP for and I click accept, it just goes into my calendar, which is great. But it appears that I obviously messed the dates up in my head regardless, because I had saved it in my calendar for today. So I definitely had it saved there as that's what it was meant to be. So that was my bad. Thank you, universe, for making sure I didn't do that, and showing me once again that I'm vibing exactly where I need to be. So, that's good. I'm even wearing, I know you can't read it from that side, but it says keep calm and do the time warp again. And I'm almost positive my sister-in-law had it made for me. Not 100%, but fairly certain she did, or someone did. I don't think it's merchandise like the other ones I've got. Anyway, on with my day. So I have asked for my boss to give me a call when he's free. So it's also professional. He's like, yeah, I'll call you at 3:30. I'm like, yeah, cool, sweet. And then he sends the professional sort of actual invite through. I guess that's because his calendar is so busy, with so many different meetings, which we saw at the last meeting because he had to pull it up for something. And yeah, mine's obviously not. So anyway, I'm booked in for a phone call at 3:30 because, as I've said, guys, this is a contractor role. I had to get an ABN. I don't know how any of this works with my disability pension. Obviously, I've had a job before, but it was paid to me by a company when I didn't have to deal with any of this stuff, right? And I've never done this before. I've had ABNs before, with all these different things throughout my life I thought I was going to do. Never ever once actually used one. So I've asked my boss to call me because I know what my tax accountant said, which was just call the people about the pension after I get paid, but that isn't sitting with me right. I really feel like I need to speak to them before that time, as in the next couple of days, just to get it done with, see what they say, make sure I'm doing everything correctly. And he has a bit of an idea, so I'd rather talk to him before I call them. What else? Right, so obviously I've been rush, guys, trying to get these stories done. Now, I did get my personal intro finished, actually, and I did read it out loud while I timed myself, and I think it was like 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. We average like 5 and less, yeah? But I printed this one out, like proper, easy to read, big font, nice spacing. And my story's almost finished. And again, I as I said, I wanted to be there earlier, even if it did involve sitting in the car, because I didn't want to be late. I was late to the original meeting, but because I was making videos. And yes, so now that means I've got plenty. I basically got today. I have to message Grant because obviously I thought I'd be in the city. He lives in the city. We were going to catch up after he'd finished work around lunchtime. After lunch, I would have been finished around about 1:30 by then. So would he reckons. So I'm going to have to let him know that I'm not there, obviously. But yeah, obviously that now means I've got the day, which is great. I know that should include walking my dog or taking him to the park at some point, but it's meant to start raining like pretty soon, and it's meant to be like quite like a lot of rain, truthfully. So that won't be happening. And I think it says it's absolutely going to rain. And the rain is my favourite weather in the whole world, as we know. So I'm probably going to continue sitting where I'm at, doing what I'm doing for the rest of the day, because I feel like everything else I'm good with. Like, I went out and double checked. The tent light is working fine. All I had to do was walk into the shed and I could see it through the zippers, yeah. Intro's done. I will actually read it to you before I hang up this camera. I used the wrong words and sentences a lot, I've recently realised. Not hanging up a camera, you hang up a phone. I'm turning off the camera. Yeah. Anyway, I am going to spend today practicing on my stories. I have 2 topics that I absolutely will be talking about, which is addiction and social anxiety, since that's the theme of the workshop. And I'm thinking, since I can talk for however long, so to speak, they see the videos will be between 5 and 10 minutes, but these ones, once they're actually done in the workshop and sent off, and the people who are in charge of whatever will be editing as they see fit, yeah, which is cool by me. As we are all aware, I don't like editing. The thought of having to edit a video makes me not want to make a video. So I'm never going to edit these videos. I think that's a given. With the more professional website, I haven't even thought about. Not true. I think about it all the time. I just haven't gotten to it because I've realised, and I realised this yesterday, some of the really big things that I believe in, I obviously believe in them for a reason, yeah? And when it comes to these things that I'm extremely passionate about, which is evidently what shows in every sense of me, because, boy, I'm aware I get emotional about certain things and I can't keep my cool and I can't stay calm. It is absolutely something I would love to be able to do and I'm trying to figure out. But as I wrote in the realization last night, I have an emotional attachment to the things I'm passionate about. That's what makes me passionate. Ergo, not sure yet how to tell the story without the emotions attached to it. But hopefully, I'm obviously, not even hopefully, I will be learning as I go, I figure. So when it comes to these more professional ones, again, I'll be practicing everything I want to say before I do it, because I really don't want to have to edit crap. The reason I don't want to talk about any of this or start any of that yet or really get into any of it is because, as I've said, on the spot, in the moment, 9 out of 10 times my brain just goes, I'm out of here, I'm gone. It's like 2 hours later and I'm like, wow, that would have been perfect to say. But, 2 hours later doesn't really help, does it, guys? So, again, I'm going to be like, people assume because I'm out there and I'm loud and I like to talk in front of cameras and I'm very happy being on stages and I put myself in that situation where eyes are on me, that I like being in that situation at any given time and that anyone can put me in that situation, which is just incorrect, because I absolutely fucking detest being put on the spot in a situation I was not even a little bit expecting, because my brain goes blank. Someone told me once I'd make a fantastic lawyer, and I could educationally and intelligently do that, I think, but I'd never be able to actually be a fucking lawyer, because the way they have to think on the fly, fuck, it would make my brain hurt. Whereas, psychology, on the other hand, I am trying to figure out people as well as me. I am clinically diagnosed with a fucking bucket load of mental illnesses. Well, I think so. 8 of them, truthfully. 7 if you want to be real technical and count the fucking personality disorder. But, so yeah, there's obviously reasons I'm studying what I'm studying. I have been reading back through my blog though, guys, and I came across the one where I had decided that I wanted to work with psychedelics. Now, I would absolutely love to work with psychedelics, but I'm not sure, or I'm fairly certain, that my level again of where I'm at in my brain and how, I'm not sure I actually think I'd be smart enough to. Do you know what I mean? Not smart enough, but yeah. Anyway, oh God, I've lost myself. Different things, right? What we're talking about. Psychology, on the other hand, the psychedelics, yeah. I see that I've figured out that I want to be in psychedelics. I don't see that happening. What I have realized 100% in the last week is that I am a storyteller. I'm a storyteller. That's what I do. That's what I am. That is my purpose. That is legitimately why I was born, as far as I'm concerned, and deal with everything that I deal with is so that I will share, because I have nothing left to lose, is where I'm at, guys. Okay, I spend days and weeks and whatever having to listen to the voices in my head tell me why I shouldn't be here. So if talking to you helps me, which is what I'm supposed to do, then this is the most important thing to me. And I mentioned this to someone. I was like, yeah, I haven't really achieved shit. I mean, all I do is make videos. And no, it was the guy with the weed plant. And he's, we're catching up, whatnot. I was like, yeah, I started making daily videos on my 36th birthday, which was 152 days ago. I think that's what I'm up to now. And I was like, yeah, no, every single day I make a video without fail, and sometimes there are multiple ones. And then obviously that includes, as Andrew also pointed out, writing the description, then sharing it to my website, though sometimes I forget to do that at the right time, but I'm getting better. And the guy with the weed plant was like, that doesn't sound like you've achieved nothing. He goes, that sounds really actually quite productive. And I'm like, this is true. I don't think of it like that. I think of it as I'm just sitting here having a conversation, and I guess, well, it's not that I up until now, until like this very fucking moment, I've never consciously thought about it, I don't think, until reliving what he said. But, yeah, I don't ever count any of this stuff as being productive, which is interesting now that I think about it. So I'll unpack that later, not now. But But yeah, my ultimate purpose in life is to be a storyteller. That is what I am. Not, I don't know anybody that is able to share like I am. They're not. And I get it. But I am so uniquely me with everything that I'm made up with and everything that I've been through and all the feelings that I feel and the fact that I feel like I'm literally connected to everything at all time makes it real intense. But yeah, I have started my dream job, and that's what I need to focus on, because there's that part of me that's like, until you get to this level it doesn't count, and it's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Of course it counts. Like, I am legitimately working. I know Rachel doesn't think it's worth my time or effort, but Rachel has a kid, and like, there's whole lots of different circumstances at play. I am on the disability. I am on the disability for a reason. For a reason. I spent years feeling guilty, all right, because I don't look like there's anything wrong, okay? But I'm absolutely fucking sick and tired of feeling guilty, because whether I look like I'm fine or not is irrelevant. So, and I think, like, I'm reading back through it, and I'm like, I want to be a research psychologist. True, I would love to be trained as one, but I also very much want to be trained as a clinical psychologist more than anything, to understand me. The main focus of this, remember, is that effectively, and this is how I now explain it to people I meet, like the people in the dog park, they want the link. And it's like, I'm basically documenting me. All right, that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm uploading and sharing with the world that is the internet, the void, the whoever, my story. Because if nothing else, like, we all have a story. Every single one of us are the main characters in our story. But, I've been through a lot. I'm 36 years old in human years. It doesn't feel like that in my soul or my mind, but still. I am feeling good though. As I keep saying, and I'll keep saying, when the darkness hits, it's to get it out. There's a lot in there. Years and years and years full of it, yeah? Alright? It's a work in progress. But I'm happy with where I'm at. The universe is absolutely talking to me. I have realized that there is something that I believe that is very similar to the people who believe you need to have Christ in your life. And I definitely, again, am not judging or saying anything, because at the purest level, at our simplest form, at everything's simplest form, we are energy. So in that sense, like, I absolutely know there are angels surrounding me, okay? I am protected in this world by a force so much bigger than me, okay, guys? And I honestly believe this because I've lived hundreds of lifetimes over, that I've got lessons galore happening. And we're talking about pretty intense ones. Like, I can tell a story and almost, like, there are things I haven't even broached and won't be broached. But who knows? I plan on doing this for the rest of my life. Like, as I've said, I have literally nothing left to lose, yeah? Like, this is what I'm doing. I have looked at it every single which way in regards to work, and I am just stepping back, because I've realized again last night that I've just constantly second guessing myself when I shouldn't actually be doing that at all in regards to anything. And truthfully, last night while I was doing something, I think it might have been putting dinner in the microwave, I realized that again. I felt all this tension and this racing and the thoughts, and then I was just like, bring it back to the breath and just step back from the thoughts. Step back. What will be, will be. And I've said to people in the past, many a time, the angels are everywhere. They're everywhere at exactly the same time, okay? It's energy, yeah? And I guess I'm a little confused with my own self on this one. Maybe not confused. Like, I understand what it is I believe and know to be true and what is happening on multi-different levels of dimensions. I just don't know how to explain it in human terms. But what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Bossy, bossy, bossy boo. Levels, human existence, time. What was I saying? When I watch myself back in these moments, it's like, none of you guys can see because I watch me back, and it's like, even on the days where I felt like when I made the video to try and make myself be faster at rolling joints, and now it's over 5Ks, 5,000 views. I figured out where I was at. It's like the breathing, my mind, like I believe in being in it now, but it's like way fucking easier said than done. Again, I believe being in the now and being present is actually very different from being in the place where time stands still. But I guess I'm just going to call in the now being present, which is when I'm in somebody else's presence, I'm always in the now. Like, I'm very able to completely detach from where I'm at here and be there when I'm with someone. The place where time stands still, that's a whole nother subject. Different though. But yeah, so I'm trying to remember to breathe properly. I realize everything happens exactly as it's supposed to, just like today. I've been up since 6. I finished my intro. I'm very happy with my intro. I've read it out a few times to myself and to Boss. I'm now going to get to finish my story. What I was saying before about these topics I want to talk about that I'm very passionate about, and why I sort of haven't even broached much of it in that sense or looked at my new website, which again now, once I sort my house out, I'll be able to sort of do, since I'm not going to be at uni. But yeah, right. I was thinking about it last night. The topics I believe in that are somewhat more controversial, or I know I'm going to get backlash from, are topics that I actually want to write proper, peer-reviewed, resourced papers on, like actual proper papers like we do for uni. There's still an actual document. Like, I go back and read the one that I wrote about lying, and I'm fucking proud of it. That was back when I was still more in the spiritual side before my human side really kicked in with uni, and I became so fucking anxious that I overthought everything. So I effectively spent the last couple of years getting not even remotely the grades I could have been getting because I was in here more than anywhere else. But yeah, I want to write proper papers. I want to make proper videos that are backed up with resources, with professionals, with the whole thing that I can give to people in a professional setting, yeah? Because this is who I am. And I'm not ashamed of who I am. I can understand why I might not be considered appropriate in a bunch of situations, but you got to remember, when I tell these stories, I'm in my home by myself, and if someone wants to see me from this in a professional setting, again, as a professional, overriding everything else, I've always talked about being a storyteller. I want my degrees because there is that part of me that is like, I want to be credible in the sense of having these pieces of paper, and you don't just get them for nothing. You actually have to fucking work hard, right? And I know I can do that. I can do that when I let go of the stress and the tension and the panic and the worry and everything else that it appears that my body just holds on to, whether I like it or not. Yeah. Constant touch of my face. So many things becoming so fucking apparent now with this whole ADHD thing. Eh? I think that's where I'm confused in my story too, because I don't introduce what mental illnesses I've got in my intro, but I'm going to have to obviously figure out how to introduce the fact that I definitely have anxiety. Like, I was diagnosed with that a long time ago, as well as depression, bipolar, and ADHD. Now, I'm trying to figure out how to just not mention all of them, maybe anxiety and ADHD, because they're affecting my schoolwork, but technically everything affects my schoolwork. So I think that's I'm a little bit confused. It's easier when I'm with people, so I'm going to have to sort of print out whatever I've got, and then once I get it to a more finished spot, I haven't written the, that's right, I haven't written the actual ways of coping with it, and that's the main part of the story, is the coping mechanisms of how to deal with social anxiety. At least I remember that. I've written in all my notes, don't get me wrong, guys, but I think I do keep forgetting about the main part. Anyway, what am I talking, 26 minutes? Don't think I finished everything. So I have said big beliefs, very passionate, emotional, working on that, want to be calmer. It'll happen when it happens. It's not like I'm not doing everything I can to get there. I'm already doing what I love. I'm legitimately going on a plane to Brisbane on the 16th of June to hold our company's very first workshop. And I'm going to say our because we are a part of the beginning. Now, my boss has founded it. He's like, this is something that our world needs, and he's done all the work the last couple of years, finding the right people, finding tech people, finding the visual people, finding sponsors and grants and whatever it is that he's done. But 2022 is when this is starting. Yeah, the mates are already online, right? This is where it's getting confusing, because I'm supposed to be talking about this company and sharing it with everyone, right? But if I do that here, that is automatically going to bring everything smashing into each other. So I can't tell any of you guys the actual company until I've disclosed to my job. So that's where that is. But yes, so, I mean, what was I saying? Like, I'm a professional. Of course I could be a professional. Anyone can be a professional in their right mind and then go on a holiday and have some fun or do this or do that. Like, who I am as a person is a good fucking person. And another realization I had last night was that I have to focus on viewing everything through the eyes of love, because I definitely don't now. Now, I believe that unconditional love for all is the answer to our world's problems in the big picture. It's hard to do that if you're looking at something through the eyes of anger or annoyance or pain or dissatisfaction or resentment. Like, if any of those emotions are in play, you're going to see whatever you're looking at through a darker version than we'd like, yeah? Unfortunately for me, as I've been saying for a long time now, my dark fucking side is very dark, okay? I used to think that I would share exactly how dark it is. I have since realized that is not going to happen, because, as one of my lovely friends said in regards to not disclosing to work yet, unconscious bias can happen, and it's in the word. Like, I have imagined the conversation that'll happen with my team, with my work, when I disclose. I almost can guarantee that they'll be like, why did you truly think that you wouldn't be able to tell us and that we wouldn't understand or be supportive or whatever, because I know that's what they'll say, right? The thing is, as I keep reminding myself, because every time I've gone to bring it up or talk about it or something, boss, the universe has stepped in. Now, I can now also see throughout my life that I've been playing with fire, with shit for so long, and I can see all the times the universe tried to step in and I didn't let it, and I just did what I did anyway. But I realized last night again, man, last night was great for some realizations, that it's in the name, unconscious bias. If they were to go on here and go to any one of my trigger warning videos or go to any one of the ones that are mad, it could have them look at me differently. And I do love who I am. I don't unconditionally love who I am, because I don't, we know where I'm at with that. I don't truly think anyone unconditionally loves themselves, because the only people that in my head I'm flashing through to is narcissistics, and that is not even a little bit what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about true love, not that again is in a, But I'm going to stop talking because my coffee's cold, because of course it is. I've already reheated it so many times. I was going to read you my intro, but I think I'll read it to you later. Actually, I'll probably do it when I first do my first practice, though, and the story can be in the same video maybe. But yeah, I'm a fucking dry mouth, of course. Got the phone call at 3:30. I really need to go to the pharmacist and really need to go to the supermarket and get some bread and some dog food. He's got enough for the next couple of days, but he definitely needs more. So that's what I'm going to aim for today, guys. If it starts raining a lot, there's a really good chance that won't happen, though. So I'm going out tomorrow to visit someone, and it's more than likely, as I say this, that I will do it all at once tomorrow, because I don't really like leaving my house if I don't really have to. And I don't really have to. So, anyway, I'll check in later. Bye!